miles ahead of everyone else's thoughts. I still think that way too. I always think years away from everybody else. That's just
Yeah.
the way I am. I like to just keep those thoughts to me. And those thoughts, man, they're all about attracting players, attracting coaches. You know what I mean? Trend setting. So yeah, we hit the South Oak Cliff. What I still remember that interview, being at that table. The principal asked me, we want what he told me. He said, we want this to be the Skyline South. How can we help you create this into the Skyline South? Well, I already had everything I needed. I already knew what coaches I need. And I just asked those guys to help me get these guys in this building. And those guys are pretty much cut from the same cloth I was cut off of. That's hard work, loving their players, being true with it. No ego guys, all about players, and coaching their tail off. And so I was able to bring those guys in, man, and it took off, man. In a matter of 3 years, I mean, it took off sky high. And that propelled me to be where I'm at right now. That propelled Coach Todd to be in a position he's in right now in South Oak Cliff. And that propelled those guys to be one of the first team to win the state championship since Dallas Carter. Back
So we're 25 minutes up. I'm gonna speed it up just because I want to be sensitive, Coach Tom. I remember those sock team. Y'all were getting talent, and that's the one thing I noticed. So at that time, Coach, didn't you leave to go to Tech? If correct, or was I wrong? Okay, you went to Tech for a little bit, and then was it Kansas?
Yep, went to University.
Okay, let's talk about that a little bit, and then we're in on that Tech where you're at now. So talk about that little mixture when you left college, and then you had to go to another college. How was that experience?
I came to Tech in 2015, January of 2015. Cliff called me, and it was hard to tell him no. Came on 2 interviews up here. Wanted to soak up his knowledge, wanted to see how he operate. That joker was a worker, man, a brainiac. I used to always call him Steve Jobs of offensive game plan and just scheming in general. He was just like Steve Jobs, So I want to know why he thought certain things. I want to know how he saw things, and I was just a sponge. I was really the only offensive coach to work for him for 4 years.
Wow.
Only guy to stay and work with him for 4 years. So I left Texas Tech after 4 years, and I had a chance to go work with Coach Miles. I want to learn from him also too at the University of Kansas. So I think by me leaving Texas Tech in 2018, it allowed me to really grow and expand into this profession. Now I see things totally different now. I see the big picture when it comes to being on this level. And I appreciate everything I experienced in Lawrence, Kansas. And so, had some success there coaching wide receivers and win the games that we wanted to win there. But you saw that program starting to turn around a little bit, But I thought I did have some of the best receivers I ever coached at the University of Kansas, and that created opportunities for me also too. They saw those guys make plays. They saw those guys get developed, and so I started getting other phone calls from other universities for us, opportunities. And then being in Dallas, coaching at South Oak Cliff, playing against Cedar Hill, being familiar with Joel McGuire, coached against Joel McGuire. We always talked about whoever get the opportunity, man. Let's help each other out. And he beat me to it, and offered me the job at Texas Tech. Brought in my guy Zach Kelly, one of the best minds in college football, and I couldn't turn that down. For my position, with what Coach Kelly liked to do, and I already kind of have an idea of what he liked to do, it was a no-brainer for me. Get my family back in Texas, man. Come back to Texas Tech. Let's win some Big 12 titles, man. Let's compete for this national championship. Let's continue to send receivers to the league, man. Let's see where it go from there.
And I gotta say this though, because you kind of humble, coach, so you won't say it, but wasn't you the interim head coach at one time?
Sure was.
That's big time, coach. I mean, I know you probably don't talk about that type of stuff, but I remember that period because you had a lot of support in Dallas that want you to get that head job. And it was just amazing to see you come from where you come from to being even the interim head coach. That was big, coach. I just want to give you your flowers in saying that.
Appreciate that, man. I had a lot in store for that also too, man. Just like how that thing took off at South Oak Cliff. We had plans up in Lawrence, Kansas, man. It was about to get very scary fast too.
Man.
But I still have those same dreams though, so it's not over. But I appreciate you for that though.
Yeah. So we figure ready into it. We are just about 30 minutes. I got probably about 2 more questions. Coach, what are y'all about at Tech, man? You got Joy, you got Zach, the young man. Who is Tech? Talk to me about y'all brand. What is it y'all trying to build up there?
brand at Texas Tech, man. It's all built on toughness. It's all toughness. It's all about competing. It's all about hard working. Then it's all about having true, authentic relationships, being good people. That's where I'm at in my career right now. I got to be with good people. Anybody that have that have the ability to touch players on a collegiate level, that's academics, that's nutrition, strength staff, coaches, ops guys. I do my research with all of that right now. I don't get caught up in just the job. I want to know, who are these people? What are they about? Are they really about the players, or they're really about wins and losses, or in the university? I feel like if you take care of the players, everything else gonna take care of itself. So, and that's what joy is about. It's all family oriented here, built on hard work, man, putting the players first, putting his family first, man, and being the toughest team in the Big 12, the toughest team in the country.
Let me ask you this, Coach. I can tell you're a cerebral guy. What's your ways of learning? As a coach, as a man, as a husband, what's your way of learning?
I got to hear it. I want to see it, and it got to have defined rules with everything I do. I got to hear it. I got to see it, and it has to have defined rules. It has to answer the why and how. It has to answer all of that. So I'm a guy that's built on rules. What we're doing, want to keep it very simple. Want it to appear difficult, but I definitely want it to be very simple for guys. I don't like to put players in a situation where they need to think. I don't want to put too much on their mind. I want to simplify that stuff as much as possible to allow these guys to play fast and make plays and playing the game that they love. So I got to see it and hear it.
Let's end with this one, Coach. What would you give? I mean, you're a young coach you got it out the mud, Coach, from high school. We just talked about go start at Seagoville to interim coach at Kansas, now at Tech, and more likely gonna be a head coach one day. What wisdom would you give a young coach trying to rise through the rank, or even a young coach that may got aspirations to coach at the college level? What's something that he needs to hone in right now? And we'll end with that one.
Stay professional. You never know who's watching you. Just stay professional. Even when it comes to social media, the way you carry yourself in the hallways, in the classroom, on the sideline, just stay professional. In the mall, period. However you carry yourself, just stay professional. Stay clean cut, stay sharp. Treat people right. You treat people right, people gonna treat you right. Then invest into the product. The product is a student athlete, so truly invest into that. And at the same time, be where your feet are. Take care of your current job. You don't have to chase it. You dominate your current job, somebody gonna notice that. And the least time you expect it, you'll get a phone call from somebody who you have a lot of respect for